Okay, let's start with Java basics. So, Java basics concept. So, in this Java basics concept, we will learn. So, what is class? What is object? And what are the static members of the class? So, when we declare any members of the class, then how we can able to differ? These are the static members of the class. Static members of the class and non-static members of the class. Static members of the class. So actually in Java basics, in the first session we'll discuss what is meant by class, what is meant by object, how we are going to differentiate static members of the class and non-static members of the class. So let's start with class. What is meant by class? So actually in Java, whenever we want to create a class, we use class keyword. Okay. Actually class is a keyword in Java. Class is a keyword in Java which is used to create class, which is used to create class. Okay, actually whenever you want to create a class in Java, we will use class keyword. For example, okay, here I will take, I want to create a class. Always we will create class by using class keyword followed by class name, followed by class, here followed by class name with opening and closing curly bracket. Okay, this is like, you can take any class name here. Okay, this is the syntax to create class. Syntax to create class, and within this class area we will write logics. Okay, logics of an application. So within this class area we will write logics of an application. So simply, what is class? Class is a keyword in Java which is used to create class. And how to create class? Always we create class in Java followed by class keyword followed by class name. Okay, once you create class in Java like this, within this class area we will write logics of an application. So how to write logics of an application within the class, then after that how we can differentiate these are like this how to access those logics and all we'll discuss. Okay, so then after that we will define what is meant by class, what is meant by object and all. Okay, so let me develop a one small application. Okay, so for that I'm going to use edit plus plus to develop the Java application here. So to develop any application, just click on file menu, go to new and click on Java. So you will get this like this application will get open, Java application. Let me create a class with the name, class name you see class keyword followed by class name. Let me create a small class with the name class test. Okay, so within this class area, so this is the class area. Within this class area we will write the logics of an application. Like here we are defining, we can define within the class static members of the class as well as non-static members of the class. Whenever we will create, okay, static members of the class within the class, always we will use static keyword. If you want to represent members of the class as a static, then we will declare those members of the class by using static keyword. Like, let's suppose I want to declare a one variable of integer type. Okay, so this is the variable I of integer type holding I value. Okay, 10 value. Okay, variable name is what? I. So I declared this variable with static keyword. That is why this variable is called static variable in Java. Okay, if you want to declare instance variable within the class, we'll create instance variable like this. So this variable we have created without static keyword. Then this variable is called instance variable. Instance variable, or it is also called as non-static variable in Java. Okay, getting it? So similarly, within this class area, we'll write logics of an application as we said. Okay. So what are the logics of an application we write? We can declare members of the class, like we can declare within this class variables, method, constructor, and blocks also. So here we have declared two variable. One variable is what? Static variable by using static keyword. One variable is what? Instance variable without static keyword. Similarly, we can create a method also. How to create method? We create method like this. So public void, I will take method name as m1. Okay, for your understanding, what is the method name? m1 with opening and closing parenthesis. So here within this method we'll write business logics. Business logics. When the method logics will get execute, actually the method logics will get execute when you call this method. Okay, there is a one rule how to call method and all we will discuss. So you have to understand what is the method. Method is nothing but method we use to write business logics, and those logics will get execute during method calling when you call the method. Whenever you create any method, okay, without static keyword, you see here you can't see any static keyword within this method. This method is what? Access specifier we use public, return type of the method we use void, just because of that this method returning nothing, and method name is what? M1. Okay, so this method is without static keyword, we created this method. Okay, then this method is called. So anywhere if you don't use static keyword, then those members of the class are called non-static. Okay, non-static or instance method. So this method is what? Non-static method or instance method we say. So if you want to create one more method within this class, we can create. But here, while creating second method, I will use static keyword and will give name of this method is what? M2. Okay. And here also you will write business logics, and here also this method logics will get execute when you call this M2 method. Okay. But then one more thing is there. So how to call these methods? Okay, how to call this M1 method, how to access these variables, okay, during runtime. Okay, so here simply I will write some dummy logics and will print that dummy logics, display that dummy logics to the console. To simply display this logics to the console, I will say this is my instance, M1 method. Okay, this is my instance M1 method, or you can say non-static M1 method. Similarly, this is what. So whenever we will write any statement in like by using double slash, okay, this is a comment in non-executable code. Okay, so simply here we have written this is the business logics, means this is a non-executable code. Okay, not an issue for this non-executable code. And this is what, which method? This method we created by using static keyword, that is what, this is static, and the method name is what? M2. So static M2 method. Okay, so you know, in Java your execution will always start at main method. What is main method? Your main method should be always like this: public, then static, then return type of the main method should be always void and main. Okay, like this. And this main method will always accept one argument of array types, string ARs. Yes, okay, and your execution of your Java class will always start at this main method. Okay, you see how to create class. We created class by using class keyword followed by this class name. Test is the class name. Okay, and within this class area, this is the class area. You just observe carefully. This is the class area. Within this class area, this is the class area. Within this class area, we are writing logics of an application. So these are the class logics, and class contains logics of an application. Okay, we declare the variable, we declare the method. Now we can access those variables, those method. Your execution will always start at main method, but there is a one point is here. Okay, actually when you run your Java program, before going to run you have to compile your Java program. Okay, there are two operations to execute Java program logics. Okay, Java logics, two operations are there. So you have to compile the Java application, then you have to run. Okay, again in Java application the memory management is there. Okay, when the memory will get allocated for the static members of the class, or when like for instance members of the class and static members of the class. So whenever you are going to compile your Java program, okay, when you compile your Java program during compilation time, so when bytecode will get converted into memory, simply we will say when bytecodes will get converted into memory. Bytecode means what? You have written this code in the form of string format and your machine doesn't understand these things. Okay, actually when this bytecode will get convert into memory, so during that time one memory will get allocated to the static members of the class. So when the bytecode will get converted into memory during compilation time, when the dot class file will get generated, during that time during that time memory will get allocated. Okay, memory will get allocated to the static members of the class, to the static members, static members of the class. So what are the static members of the class, and what is the memory, memory name? That memory is called static memory, static memory, or static memory. That memory name is called static memory of the class, or this memory is called, class memory, class memory. Okay, so within this memory, this is the memory, within this memory all the static members of the class will get loaded. What are the static members of the class? Main method is a static, main method will get loaded into this memory, as well as m1 m2 method is a static, m2 method will get loaded into this static memory, as well as variable I is a static. Okay, variable I is equals to 10 is a static, that variable I is also will get loaded into this static memory of the class. Okay, so but what about these instance members of the class? When the memory will get allocated to the instance members of the class, like instance variable, instance method. Okay, when the memory will get allocated to the instance members of the class, the memory will get allocated to the instance members of the class when you create object. Then the question will comes here, how to create object in Java. Okay, how to create object in Java? We create object, always remember that we create object in Java by using new keyword followed by class name with opening and closing parenthesis. You see, like that we will create. The moment you will write this statement, okay, always remember that the moment you will write this statement, one object will get created. That object is nothing but physical memory address. Okay, one object will get created. Within this object, all non-static members of the class, like m1 method is what? Non-static, as well as you can see k variable, k is equals to 20 is non-static. All these non-static members will get allocated memory, and those were non-static members will get loaded into what? Object memory. Always remember that static members of the class are belongs to class memory, and non-static members of the class are belongs to object memory. This is the object, and all non-static members of the class are belongs to object memory. Okay, so this is the physical address. Okay, always remember that this object is nothing but some physical address, okay, memory address. We can say physical memory address. Okay, so actually this is the physical memory address. So whenever you will give some name to this physical address, always give some name to that physical address. Okay, that name is nothing but reference variable. That name of that variable is called reference variable. And always remember that whenever you will give some name to this physical address, some name to that physical address, that name is nothing but, we in Java we call that name is called reference variable. Okay, reference variable. So this is the reference variable, and in Java this reference variable, always remember that this reference variable will hold, this t is the reference variable, this reference variable will hold memory address of that physical object. Okay, memory address of an object. And always remember that, so every reference variable which you will create in Java, so those memory address reference variable will have a data type as class name. Test is the class name. So here you see, by using new keyword we created a object. Okay, how to create object? By using new keyword followed by class name with opening and closing parenthesis, we created an object, and we given some name to that object, that is called reference variable. And every reference variable, okay, which we create, which hold memory address of an object and will have a data type as class name. So similarly we create. So now in this application, in this first application, whatever we developed here, we created static members of the class. This is the static members of the class. This is the first static members of the class. Okay, this one is the first static members of the class, and this is the static method, and this main method is also a static method. All these static members of the class are loading, okay, will get allocated memory during compilation time, and they will get load into common memory of the class. And all non-static members of the class, like what are the non-static members of the class we have in this class? All the non-static members of the class, like these variables. Okay, let me take some dark color. Let me take this. Okay, all the non-static members of the class, like these variables, instance variable, instance method, those will get allocated memory. Okay, during object creation. The moment you create object, during object creation, they will get loaded into what? Object memory. These are the non-static members of the class. They will get loaded into what? Object memory. Object memory. And all the static members of the class like main method, and then after that m2 is a static method and static variable will get loaded into class memory. That is why in Java we used to say that all the static members of the class are belongs to class and all the non-static members of the class are belongs to an object. An object. Might be you get it. Okay. Now next question is what? How to access those static members of the class and non-static members of the class? How will you access? So very simple. How will you access static members of the class? Always remember that all static members of the class are belongs to class. So always access static members of the class by using class name. So what is the class name? How to call static method? We call static method by using class name dot method name. M2 is the method name. So this is called static method calling statement. Static method calling statement. And always remember that. So these method logics, if there is a instance method or static method, any method will be there. Those method will get execute when you call that method. So this m2 is the static method. This static method will get execute when you call that method. Okay, simply you calling that static method by using class name. Similarly, if you want to call instance method, we always call instance method by using object name. What is the object name? Test t1 is the object name. T1 is the object name. Okay. Due to some background noise, I was stopped it. So let's, all the static member, like all instance members of the class, we access by using object reference name, and all the static members of the class we access by using class name. So this is the method calling statement. Okay, but for what? Instance method calling statement. This is called instance method calling statement, and this is called static method calling statement. Similarly, we can access instance variable like this. Similarly, we can access instance variable by using reference variable name. By using reference variable name. What is the reference variable here? Small t is the reference variable, and what is the variable name? K is the variable name. K is the instance variable. So if you want to access static variable, always remember the static variable, static methods we access by using class name. So what is the class name? Class name here is test. By using that class name we can access static variable. What is the class name? Test. And what is the variable name? The variable name is what? I. Variable name is what? I. Okay. Observe carefully. All the static members of the class will get loaded into what? Which memory? Common memory of the class. This is the common memory of the class, suppose. And all the instance members of the class will get loaded into object memory. Object memory. So whenever you creating object, how to create object? We creating object by using new keyword followed by class name. This is the object creation statement. The moment you write this statement, an object will get created and the memory will get allocated to the non-static members of the class. To the non-static. This is the object. The moment you write this statement, this object will get created and we are giving some name to this object t. This small t is nothing but reference variable. And all the non-static members of the class like k and m1 method will get loaded into this object, and all the static members of the class like I, main method, okay, main method, and then m2 method will get loaded into this class memory. This is called class memory and this is called object memory. Okay, this is called object memory. All the static members of the class are belongs to class, and all the instance members of the class are belongs to object. Okay, that is why always access static members of the class by using class name and always access non-static members of the class by using object name. Okay, so how to run this application? To run this application, first you have to save this application. Let me right click on save as. So let me save this application on desktop. I have a Java practice folder and on that I will save it. So save this application. Now observe carefully, just go to the location. So when the memory will get allocated for the non-static members of the class, when we create object. Yes, when we create object. Now carefully observe here. So during dot class file, when the dot class file will get generated, during that dot class file, so let me delete this previous dot class file. So deleted the previous dot class file, only test class is there, test file is there. Now just open here command prompt, copy this and just open command prompt, just click on window R, type cmd and click on OK. And whatever path you have copied, just use cd means what, change directory, paste it, go to the location where you have. Now when you compile your Java application, during compilation time one dot class file will get generated here. So during that dot class file, one memory will get allocated for the static members of the class, that is called common memory of the class. Okay, how to compile Java application? Always compile Java application by using java c command. Java c, what is the application name? Test.java. So the moment you compile this application, if we have developed the application perfectly, you will not get any issue. Now compile the application, you generated a one dot class file. Here you observe, here one dot class file will get generated. This is called dot class file. And what is the time? The time of this 16th August 2020 5:39, and you can see here the time is also same, 16th August 2020 5:39. Okay, when the dot class file get generated, during that dot class file generation, the memory will get allocated for the static members of the class. How to run this application? To run this application, just use Java. What is the application name? Test. Java test. You see, 0 you are getting, null 0. Actually this executing previous application. Okay, I have to save this file. How to save this file? Just go to the file, run, save as. Okay, I will use test.java. Let me replace. Okay, it's saying this file is currently open in edit++. Let me save, Control S, save. Okay, actually currently we have opened, that's what it is not replacing. Let me again compile it and again run it. Again, how to run? Java test. 0 null. Okay, got it. Save this file once again with the name test.java. Yes, replace it. Now compile it. Actually I was developed this application, so having some issue. So always develop application in edit++. Okay, so this is what test.i println. This is main method. So what is the class name? Is what? Test. We are calling static method, we are calling instance method. Go to again that location, just type cmd to open command prompt, compile it. Okay, let's compile. What is the application name? Java c test.java. This is the compilation, and see if there is any issue, it will not compile. If application is developed fine, it will compile. How to run Java c test? So you see, instance method executed and you are accessing instance variable, static method executed, you are accessing static variable, like that. So like when you develop the application, like that we will use. So here within this class we are writing this logics of an application. Within this class area we are writing logics of an application. So how we created class here? We created class by using class keyword followed by class name, and within this class we are writing logics of an application. Means this class contains logics of an application. Okay, this class contains logics of an application. So in this above example, if you see this small t is nothing but, okay, this small t is nothing but we call this is called reference variable. Reference variable. Okay, and what is new? New is a keyword. Okay, so new is a keyword in Java used to create object. Used to create an object. And what is test? Test is a class name. So test is a, observe carefully, test is a class name. What is test of? Okay, this test of is nothing but this is a constructor. Okay, this is constructor part. We'll discuss this part in constructor. Okay, as of now you just understand this is constructor. Okay, constructor in Java. So this is the reference variable. Reference variable small t. New is a keyword in Java which is used to create object. Class is a, test is a class. Okay, and the test of is a constructor. What is static? Static, public, these are the modifiers. Okay, static, public, these are the modifiers we use. Okay, simply. Now in simple word, so if it comes to the definition of the class, how will you define class? If you want to define class in Java, how will you define? So you know, we create class in Java by using class keyword by followed by class name. If you want to, within this class area, this is the class area. Within this class area, we will write logics of an application. Logics of an application. Just we have written. So if coming to the definition of class, so what are the definition of class? We'll define class in multiple ways like this. So within this class we are writing logics of an application. So I will say, so class is a logical entity, okay, which contains logics of an application. So within this class we are writing logics of an application. That is what we are saying. My class is a logical entity which contains logics of an application. Or else we can define class either way, like this also. Okay, so you know, your class is a, like, if you have a class within like you declare the class. Okay, by using this class name you can able to create multiple objects. New keyword followed by class name, multiple object. So this class will define like a one kind of blueprint. Okay, if you have a design, based on that design you can able to construct multiple buildings. Yes or no? If you have a design based on that blueprint, or based on that architect, you can able to construct multiple buildings like a physical address. Similarly here also you have a class. On that class you can able to create multiple objects. You see, multiple object you can able to create. So like that, in multiple areas, in static area, in instance area, you can able to create object. So again we define class like this. Okay, class is a blueprint. Class is a blueprint which decides object creation. Actually, if your class is there, without class you can't able to create object. How we are creating object? We creating object in Java by using class keyword followed by using new keyword followed by class name. If class is not there, you can't able to create object. That is why we say that class is a blueprint which decides object creation. Or else you can define class either way, like this also. Okay, your class is a factory. So class is a one kind of factory, so which can generates multiple objects. Simple. Okay, by using class, by using new keyword, you can able to create multiple objects in any area. So just use new keyword followed by class name, new keyword followed by class name. If you write this statement multiple times, multiple object will get created at runtime. If you write 3 times, 3 objects will get created. 3 times, non-static members of the class will get loaded into this object. Okay. If you create 5 times object will get created, and 5 times non-static members of the class like instance variable, instance method will get loaded into this object. So that is why we are saying that class is a factory which can generate multiple objects. Multiple objects. Okay. So that is the class. Then what is meant by object? What is meant by object in Java? So how to create object in Java? We create object in Java by using new keyword. Yes or no? By using new keyword followed by class name with opening and closing parenthesis. Okay, with opening and closing parenthesis we are creating object like that. We have a new keyword, we have a class is there, class test. For example, my class is there, and what is the class name? Test is there. I want to create an object within this class. If you want to create an object within this class, how will you create object? New keyword followed by class name with opening and closing parenthesis like this. This is the object creation. The moment you write this statement, an object will get created. Okay. So how will you define object? Okay, we define object like this. So object is an instance of the class which represents or which holds, you can see, which holds only non-static members of the class, only non-static members of the class. Why we create object in Java? Just because of to allocate a memory to the non-static members of the class. That is why we create object in Java. So similarly here we created object in Java to create, to load, or to allocate a memory to the non-static members of the class. Okay, that is the only point for object. Or else we can define object like this also. Or else we can go object like this also. So it is a, okay, it is, so object is an, okay, object is an instance members of the class. Object is an instance members of the class which represents, okay, memory address. Simply when you write this statement, simply one object will get created, and this object will have some memory address, and only non-static members of the class will get loaded into this object. Only non-static, okay, not a static, only non-static members of the class will get loaded into this object. The number of times you create object, let's suppose you're creating 5 times object, 5 times non-static members of the class will get loaded into that object. Means 5 times the memory will get allocated to the non-static members of the class, in simple word. Okay, so that is like, if class is not there, you can't able to create object. Okay, without, you can say that without class, object creation is not possible. Without, if class is not there, how will you create object? So always be creating object by using new keyword but following by class name. Okay, without class you can't able to create object. In simple word, we are defining class and object like this. So class is logical entity which contains this logics of an application, or we can say that class is a blueprint which contains, which will like, class is a blueprint. So by using this blueprint we can able to construct multiple object in multiple areas. Okay, this is the first example regarding to class and object. And like that we are defining, this is the class and this is the object. So I hope you get it. This is the class and this is the object. Okay, here this is my example 01 to describe class and object in Java. Okay, or else we can take this example from here also, class and object. Okay, T is the reference variable, and every reference variable, okay, every reference variable in Java, what is T? T is a reference variable which holds memory address. So every reference variable will hold memory address of an object, and every reference variable will hold memory address of an object and will have a data type, as class name. Simply in our example we created, so this is the object having a memory address. If you want to create a reference variable for this, like that we'll create. So this small t is the reference variable, and this test is a class name, which is the data type for this memory address. Okay, and always remember that every reference variable will hold memory address of an object. Okay, memory address of an object. So the number of times, what will happen, the number of times you create an object within the class, that number of times, that number that numbers of times, okay, time that number of times all non-static variable. So I will write all non-static variable method and construct, all non-static variable method and block. Okay, you can say constructor also, non blocks, that will comes under blocks. All non-static variable method, or you can say all non-static members of the class or variable method constructor will get load into that object memory, Okay, simply when you create multiple objects, that number of times all the non-static members will get allocate memory. And when you compile your Java program, for static members of the class will get load only once during compilation time, when the dot class file will get generate. Okay, so static members of the class will get load only once during compilation time. Okay, will get load only once during compilation time into common memory of the class, where it will get load into common memory of the class. Okay, when the dot class file will get generate, generate. Okay, so actually they will get load only once when the dot class file will get generated. So if we discuss regarding to performance wise, you are creating multiple copy for non-static members, but static members will get created copy only once. So if you compare performance wise, always static members of the class are better than the non-static members. Okay, uh, always remember. Okay, and one more point here is here. Okay, so all static members of the class are belongs to class, and all non-static members of the class are belongs to object. Always remember that, and hence that is why, okay, always access static members by using what, class name, and non-static members non-static members by the object name, by the object name. So that is the difference between static and non-static members of the class. Always static members of the class we access by using class name, and non-static members of the class by using object name. Let's see. Let me write one more application here. Okay, for better understanding, what will happen if you create multiple objects? So on that multiple object, can we able to access those or not? Let me take say instance variable and all. But here I will create object with the name. Okay, this is the moment I will write this object, this statement test t. Okay, new keyword followed by class name. Object will get created. On this object, you can able to access. You can able to access all instance member of like instance variable. What is the instance variable name? K. Okay. So on this object also you can able to access this instance variable, and on this object you can able to call sorry guys, instance method. On this object you can able to call instance method. Can you able to create one more object here? Yes, you can able to create multiple objects. So this time I have given the name of this object is what? T1, and on that object you can able to call again instance variable and instance method on that object. Okay, T1 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 T1. So here you see, only for static members of the class only once the memory will get allocated, but for instance members of the class you creating two objects. If you creating two objects, two times memory will get allocated. You see, the moment you write this statement, two times object will get created. Okay, first time when the object will get created here. So the object is creating when you write this statement. First time object got created, second time object got created, and you are giving the name of this object different name. What are the name? First time you created object and you given the name of this object is what? T. Second time T1. First time all the static members like instance m1 method will get load, and as well as k variable will get load into this object. So here also m1 method will get load and k variable means copy of non-static members will created two times the number of times you created object, but for the copy of static members like main method, m2 method and I variable will get create only once during compilation time. That is why on that multiple object name you can able to access instance members of the class two times. So if you compile fine, and if you run it, two times instance members like instance m1 method got like instance m1 method 20. So t dot m1, and let me call, so k is the instance variable name. Let me access static variable also. So static variable you can access by using class name test dot k static variable, but static variable name is what? I. Okay, and test dot method name is what? m2. So t dot k means what? Accessing instance variable, and t dot m1 means what? Calling this method. Again creating one more object. On that object you are accessing. Compile and run. You see, so first time you are accessing instance variable calling instance method, second time you are accessing instance variable on second object name instance method, accessing static variable accessing static method, like this the output you will get for this application. Got it? The number of times you creating object, you see the number of times you will create object, that number of times simply the memory will get allocated for the static members of the class. The number of times you will write this statement, that number of times object will get created. So you have written two times this statement. Okay, two times this statement. First time object created, second time object created, and you are giving the name of this object is what T, and the name of this object is what T1, and variable instance method will get load. Instance variable instance method will get load into those objects. So copy will get created into object memory. Got it? So that is what first lecture. Okay, so here we have discussed what is class, what is object. So we define class in multiple ways. We have defined class. We define class like this: class is a logical entity, so which contains logics of an application. Similarly, we define object. Object is a physical entity which represents memory address. Okay, so we define class like that: class is a blueprint which decides object creation, or class is a factory which generates multiple objects. Similarly, object is an instance of the class, holds non-static members only. Without class, you can't able to create object. Okay, we define static members of the class. We define instance members of the class within this class. How to write logics of an application within this class area. From here, the execution will start. Always remember that your Java application execution will start at main method. Like that, we have discussed these things. I hope you get it. So let's stop here.